Hey dude, it's your turn to feed the demon of eternal horrors tonight, okay? Oh, and FYI, the ducks are starting to catch on to what you're doing. So try asking the squirrels if they'd like some free cashews instead. Those suckers will fall for anything. Hello? Hello? What are you doing anyway? You good, bro? Okay, I'll back off. What's up?
It's not fair.
Excuse me?
It is not fair! How come no one knows about this television masterpiece? I mean, seriously, it's one of the most original, funny, artistically interesting educational children's cartoons of all time. I mean, seriously, how can this thing not be on every 90s kid's top 10 list of greatest kids shows of all time? But no! I guess that today's youth will never be witness to the majesty of true 90s cinematic majesty. Disgusting.
Oh dear niblets. Please don't tell me you've got a fedora to match your new neckbeard.
Hey, don't you dare judge me! I'm not the one who tore open some poor British dude's throat just because he accidentally barged in on you before you had your daily cup of carrot-flavored Joe.
Look, that rabbit's got a vicious streak a mile wide. It's a killer.
Fine. So what show are you wasting your life ranting about this week? Come on, what's it called?
I don't know.
Come again?
I don't know, okay? I don't know.
You've gotta be fluffing with me.
It's not my fault, okay? I've been looking everywhere for any signs of this show's existence. Google, IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, Metacritic, heck, everywhere. Even fucking Yahoo Answers. But since I only have the Danish title for the show, none of them are able to find this show I'm looking for. None of them! I don't know what to do! I feel like I'm going crazy! Did I hallucinate this television show? Does it even exist? Are you real? Am I real? Is anything real? Are we living in a simulation? Let me out, goddammit!
Anyway, have you tried describing the show to Google instead of just using the title? It might make it a little bit easier to find.
Oh, fuck you! You really think it would be that easy to solve this stupid-ass problem? I've spent weeks Googling this show and digging through IMDb for any clues of this show's existence. As if the solution to all of my problems would all be solved by...
You're welcome, you fucking bitch.
Henry's Amazing Animals is a 1996 CGI animated educational children's cartoon about a whiny green lizard named Henry and his know-it-all narrator, who lives in a giant white void where the narrator tries to teach the arrogant little lizard about animals and how they function, both amongst themselves and in relation to the world. Say it with me now. Thank you, Wikipedia! Let me tell you right now, this show is fucking weird, and I love it oh so much. Just look at it. I mean, just look at it. Granted, this show is pretty old, and a lot of the CGI animation in it has aged rather poorly by today's standards. Just look at those beautiful, beautiful eyes that he has. I cannot look away. He is oh so beautiful that it is horrifying. Don't you agree, dear viewer? Look at how sexy those eyes are. Luckily for me, I'm completely desensitized to these nightmare demon features, so he will not be haunting my nightmares anytime soon. Why? Because the power of nostalgia protects me from this curse that is 1990s CGI animation. Bring it on, punks! The show is a combination of CGI, live-action sequences, traditional 2D animation, stop-motion animation, and green screen animal effects that basically just walk around the white void that this show takes place in. Speaking of which, this is something that I have never seen in any other TV show of that era. Period. And remember, this was back in 1996. Nowadays, we're basically used to nothingness. It's basically the easiest way to create content. But back then, that was not the case. And something like this truly was something special. I had never seen anything like it at the time. The episodes would start out with a little sequence where a middle box would open up in the beginning, revealing all the amazing animals that would be living inside of it, along with its really catchy theme song. Then we would get the logo along with an animal relating to today's theme. And then we would get an introduction to the subject matter by Henry and the narrator in a way that would relate to specific animals and how they would function and or interact with each other.
Hi, Henry. I said welcome to the world of mini beasts.
What are mini beasts?
They're animals, like bugs and creepy crawlies. We may not always see them, but mini beasts are everywhere.
And along the way, we would get a lot of jokes and character interactions between Henry and the narrator.
Henry, are you listening to me?
Hello? Hello? Anybody home? Who wants to know? Hey, this could be my new home.
You better check it out first. It might be occupied.
Ah, looks like someone did get here first. Sorry to drop in without an invitation, but I was in the neighborhood.
Along with some live-action compilations of different animals expressing the theme of the episode, while the narrator educates the audience on the subject matter.
But a few parents aren't nearly as caring. One of these eggs doesn't belong here. The cuckoo lays her egg in another bird's nest. The owner of the nest is fooled into thinking it has an extra bundle of joy.
That's not only cuckoo, it's crazy.
You mean it's clever. The baby cuckoo hatches in a nest full of smaller eggs and doesn't waste any time getting rid of the competition. In just a few weeks, the cuckoo will grow to more than double the size of his foster parents.
What a big mouth. He sure doesn't eat like a bird.
By the time he's a few weeks older and eaten his fill, he says goodbye to his adopted parents, leaving them all alone with no babies of their own.
All the while, the narrator and Henry would jump from animal to animal and try to explain why this animal is interesting in particular and why it is worth talking about, and also how they connect to the theme of the episode. Along the way, we usually get some traditionally animated cartoon segments that serve as comic relief, and doubles as a way for the show to segue from subject to subject without losing focus completely. As a side tangent, I never really liked these segments. Even as a kid, I thought they were unnecessary and just ended up distracting from the overall point of the episode by taking up valuable time that they could have used to show us more examples of the topic that the episode is actually about. Granted, they are funny, even as an adult, but as a kid, I would watch the same episode 7 times a day, all in a row, so the jokes quickly became boring and repetitive. At least to 3-year-old me. But hey, what do I know? I'm just an adult woman choosing to waste her time talking about an obscure children's show for toddlers that was made almost 30 years ago. Anyway, back to the video. We also usually get a short, but still sweet, award segment show called the Gecko Award, where Henry himself nominated different animal species for the all-time Best Animal Award, which all depended on what the theme of the episode was that day. Examples of previous winners of the awards are...
And the gold medalist and most amazing all-time best mini beast is the common garden spider! But my Golden Gecko Award for the all-time best amazing animal builder goes to the woodpecker! But in first place, my Golden Gecko Award for all-time best animal sense is the bat-eared fox.
And so on and so on. Another side tangent here. The animal ceremony only really puts focus on the animal that ended up getting the gold medal, which is kind of a shame because that basically robs the audience of knowing anything about the animal that won either the bronze or the silver gold medal. Which I feel is kind of a shame, because the silver and bronze still deserve a little bit of recognition, don't they? Is the gold winner really the only one that actually matters? What about this silver choice or the bronze choice? Don't we deserve to know something about them? But I guess that would take a lot of extra time to do, and given that these episodes are only supposed to be about 23 minutes long, I guess that only one is going to have to do. But please, if we ever get a reboot of this show, extend the award ceremony and give the silver and bronze medal the attention that they deserve. And last, but certainly not least, we would get a special report by Henry himself, where he tries to explain a subject that the narrator has tasked him to do research on for the specific episode. Henry would usually always forget to do the report, and usually just end up making some stuff up on the fly in order to not lose face in front of the audience. And the narrator would later on correct Henry on his many misconceptions. And I swear to God, these segments are some of the greatest pieces of television that I have ever seen in my life. It has genuinely made me laugh several times, even into adulthood. Seriously, just watch this!
I'm totally prepared to tell you where seahorse babies come from.
That's your report?
Sure, a lot of people have the wrong idea about babies.
They do?
Yeah, and especially baby seahorses. Many people think that you find babies in cabbage patches. They're wrong. Others think babies are delivered by storks. Ridiculous. One guy once told me you could order babies from the back of a cereal box if you collected enough box tops. What a nut! So let me tell you where babies really come from.
Uh-oh.
From eggs, of course. Their moms either lay eggs or they hold onto the eggs inside their bodies until it's time for the babies to be born. Then they...
Henry, weren't we talking about baby seahorses?
Well, baby seahorses are the only ones that don't come from inside their mom.
Ah.
Because seahorses are magic!
Oh, no.
When seahorse moms and dads want a baby, they go shopping at the Sea Center Mall. There they buy all the special magical ingredients, like green pearls, pink seaweed, and a lucky horseshoe, yeah. They take all the stuff home to their little seaweed house and carefully measure the ingredients out into an enormous cookie jar, so long as they remember to take the cookies out first. Because the cookie jar is already full of seawater, they don't have to add salt. And because it's so enormous, they can stir the mixture by swimming around in it. The seahorses put a lid on the jar and leave it on the top shelf. 3 weeks later, they hear a tapping on the side of the cookie jar, take the lid off, and suddenly they have a brand new baby!
Amazing.
Isn't it, though? And just think they give birth without any of that pushing and mess and
Yes,
mess.
thank you, Henry.
Anyway, that's my report, and you heard it straight from the lizard's mouth.
You really think anybody's gonna believe that?
Yeah! My report is on the bee and why it hums.
Hums?
Let's start by looking at the world of the bee. The hive is the bee's home. In the hive, there are 3 types of bee.
Right.
First, the queen, who lays the eggs, which hatch into larvae. No, not volcanic lava. Insect larvae. In other words, baby bees. Then, there are the drone bees and the worker bees. All bees work hard to make honey. Not money, honey. That's better. Now, they put honey in pots.
Henry.
But they've got to make the pots first. And that's hard work, even for a bee.
What?
Sometimes all that hard work took the steam out of the bees. And sometimes they got irritated with one another.
I know that feeling, Henry.
To make the bees happy and to stop their complaining, the queen had a bright idea. She got the bees to form a choir. And every day they would sing their hearts out.
I'm a gyrating, pollinating son of a bee. logically. If you see me and my homies roaming, please leave us be.
And they would forget all their problems. Only trouble was that the bees were too tired after all their hard work. They couldn't remember any of the words to the songs. So they had to hum along with the tune instead. And that's why bees hum, because they don't know the words.
Oh.
The bowerbird.
Let me smash. Please. You want some fuck? Wait, let me smash. What does my life come to? Becky thought my tail was big. Becky used a let me smash, but Becky is smashing Ben. Ben is a hoe.
He's a bird, and he's sort of an artist. He makes a special building out of twigs called a bower.
And?
And then he has to decorate it. Now, the bowerbird is the real bluebird of happiness because every single decoration he uses is colored blue. Anything will do. Feathers, flowers, glass, anything, so long as it's blue.
Why doesn't he use any other colors?
Here's what he told me. Henry, I'm an artist. I'm going through my blue period. Cousin Clint had his green. Uncle Hieronymus was into worms. But me, I'm true blue. But do you know why?
Do you know why?
Sure, I know why. Sport.
Sport?
Yeah! This sport fan's team wears blue shirts. He goes to all their games dressed in blue from beak to tail. And you should see his place. Blue fridge, blue bathroom, even blue food. And guess what music he listens to? The blues.
Oh.
He drifts off to sleep in his blue bed and has, black and white dreams. You see, animals can't dream in color.
What's that got to...
Dreams are the only thing in his life this bowerbird can't make blue. It drives him crazy. So to make him feel better, he searches every day for some new blue decoration for his bower. So, if you're wondering why the bowerbird loves blue stuff, it's because he dreams in black and white. And so he has to find something new in blue every single day of the year. And don't forget, Henry told you, so it's straight from the lizard's mouth. Sure. Ever stop to wonder how the electric eel got its name up in lights?
That's your report?
Yes, well, it's because they are electric, as in charged, as in glows in the dark.
Really, Henry?
And that's pretty useful underwater where it's so dark, a fish can't see its fins in front of its face. Fish were always bumping into each other until someone had the bright idea of electric eels. Result, enlightenment! Ow, sunglasses time! Now fish could see to read their newspapers. Everyone was happy as a clam. When they needed more light for an underwater sporting event, they just asked a group of eels to cuddle together and blam! Eels are better than your average light bulb. They don't break, and there's no electricity bill ever.
Henry!
It was such a stroke of genius, perhaps we should fix them up around here. Why should fish get all the fun? All you need is an aquarium full of water, toss in a few eels, and wait for the glow to show. At parties, they could put on colored suits and hey, presto, instant disco. Don't delay. Be the first one on your street to make the change to eel power. And don't forget that Henry told you so. So it's straight from the lizard's mouth.
Seriously, is it any wonder why this show was able to captivate me so intensely when I was a kid? The way this show mixes art styles and the way this show is edited truly is the stuff of legends. All the while carrying a lighthearted and pleasant atmosphere for young audiences, explaining things in a simple way that young kids can understand, while also not sugarcoating the gruesome facts of life and survival in nature. Just look.
That eels use electricity in order to navigate and to eat. They create an electric current by rippling their muscles, which can help them find their way in the South American rivers where they live. But they can also direct the current and use it to stun fish, making them easy to catch and swallow. They can produce up to 650 volts, which is enough of a charge to cause people to pass out and could even kill them.
Excuse me, that's amazing and a bit scary.
This is a Venus flytrap, one of the only types of plant to actually catch and eat live prey. I mean, live mini beasts.
Hey, fly! Watch it!
Right, but their amazing sense of smell can be their downfall. The bola spider knows just how to take advantage. He's going fishing for moths.
I've heard of fly fishing, but this is something else.
The spider creates a great sticky ball that smells just like the scent a female moth makes to attract a male, and it uses this as bait.
Sneaky.
The male moth is fooled into thinking it's a real female moth.
Here, Mothy Mothy.
And he snags him. The Amerobius spider. She literally devotes her life to her baby spiderlings.
Looks like a lot of mouths to feed. What'll they eat?
Her.
Excuse me?
They eat her.
Get out of here! Is that a joke?
It's no joke. She's the ultimate self-sacrificing mom. She gives up her life so that all her babies can get a good start in theirs.
Wow!
This alkali bee has just dug a hole and deposited its egg. What she doesn't realize is that the bomber fly has her own devious plan.
Don't tell me!
She drops her own eggs into the same hole. They hatch and feed on the baby bees.
Oh, I asked you not to tell me.
Sorry, but that's how it is in nature sometimes.
Yeah, this show was surprisingly dark when it wanted to be, especially for a show aimed at toddlers. But don't you worry, as a kid I was relatively smart, so none of it ever really affected me all that much. I couldn't just watch this show on TV, like all the other shows I grew up with. No. The way I even discovered that this show existed was because my grandparents randomly one day brought 3 different VHS tapes home with them, with episodes of the show on each tape, that I would watch every time that I came over to visit them. And later on, my parents would find 2 extra tapes that I would watch when I was home. Animal Babies being my favorite one by far. Seriously, I've watched that one specific tape so many times that it literally broke inside of my VHS player. Every time I try to play it past a certain point nowadays, it just unravels inside the machine, and I somehow have to scoop out the remaining film pasta to ever have the hope of using my outdated film microwave ever again. And yes, I do blame this show for turning me into a huge nerd that all the other kids didn't really like that much. Yeah, it's definitely the show's fault, and not mine. Yet it wasn't until a year ago that I was reminded of this show's existence. And I thought to myself, who actually owns this show anyway? I'm not actually sure. Let me go check. Wait, what was that? That sounds an awful lot like... No way. There's no way they would allow that. Unless... Please! Please! Please just do this one good thing for humanity! Heck, you can even make a bad remake of it like you usually do. You're really good at that. You like doing that, right? Please just don't let it die. Please, 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 just don't let it die. I know you have the money. Otherwise you wouldn't keep making all those stupid live-action remakes. Please.